Akua and I'm going to be showing you how to do a fabulous quick hair prep and style on Gabby. To start off with, I'm going to be spritzing her hair with the Silhouette Styling Care Lotion. And you don't want to put too much on because sometimes it can make your hair straighteners stick to the hair. So I've just turned on the straighteners, and whilst I'm brushing through the hair, I'm going to be leaving the straighteners to get hot. Just making sure that there are no tangles, and I'm going to get started. To start off with, if you just make sure you have your parting in the right place for your client before you start anything. So Gabby, are you happy with your hair in this parting? Fabulous. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the hair into 3 sections. So my first section is going to come from just behind the ear. I want to make sure that my section lines are as straight as possible. So the parting starts from behind the ear and comes up towards the middle parting across the hair. And this is my first section. I'm then going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to do my second section again, starting from this parting line here and going down behind the ear. I'm just going to clip these 2 sections out of the way. And I'm just trying to clip it so it doesn't get caught in this back section here. So I'm literally going to get my long hair clip and I'm just going to clip it across like this. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and I'm going to clip this side as well. Just so it's out of the way. And then I'm going to start with the back section of the hair. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up towards the top. So I'm just going to roughly take a section from just underneath the ears. And I'm just going to get this out of the way, and we're going to start with this section of hair. I'm going to just make sure there are no tangles in the hair. And then I'm going to go in with my straighteners, and I'm just going to go ahead and curl the hair with the straighteners. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And it doesn't matter which direction you curl the hair. You can do it any way you wish. So on the next row, I'm going to change and go in the other direction so you can see the difference. And then I'm going to create my second section, and this is going to come up just above the ear. And I'm going to clip that out of the way. And then go back in with my straighteners and curl this section of hair here. Just making sure that there are no tangles in the hair before you start. And I'm just smoothing the hair first and just getting it warm so that we don't end up with a line from the straighteners. And I'm going to go in again and I'm going to just start curling the hair. And just spiraling, twisting around the hair and sliding them down towards the ends. And if you get to the end and it starts to stick, you can just tap, open and close your straighteners gently so it doesn't stick on the hair as much. And I'm going to go ahead and do the last section. Just tapping with the straighteners and letting the curl drop down. So now I'm going to go in with my styling care lotion and just spray this section of hair to help it to hold. Doesn't matter if some sections aren't as curly as the others, because a lot of people at the moment really like that kind of the loose curls at the moment. And I've just made another section, and this is, I'd roughly say, depends, the size of your section depends on how thick your client's hair is. So if I was working on someone that had particularly fine hair, I could probably do all of this in 2 sections. So this next section I'll probably say is about maybe an inch deep. And again, I'm going to come in and divide this into 3 sections and then get started on my curling. So I'm just smoothing through the hair, getting rid of any tangles. going to divide this into 3 sections again. And they don't need to be even. It's just so you can get a curl into the hair. I'm going to come back in again with the straighteners. This time I'm going to curl the hair towards me. So before I got the straighteners like this and I was going around and out, and now I'm going to come in and turn them towards me. And it just makes the curls slightly more natural when they're all coming in different directions. And I'm just, again, starting to stick slightly, so I'm just opening and closing the straighteners to help me get the curl lower down in the hair, and I'm twisting it to keep it nice and tight. And leaving it to uncoil. Just making sure the hair's nice and hot and then leaving it to come down. And this little section here, I'm going to leave and go in front. And I'm just going to smooth this section down. And again, I'm going to roll it in. So this is a much smaller amount of hair, as you can see. This whole section is probably about 1.5 inches. And we're going to do something slightly different with this last section of hair compared to the rest of the hair. So I'm just going to clip this out of the way and then get started on this section here. And with this section, I'm going to do slightly more sections than 3, so that when the curls come down and they drop, they kind of look more natural and not so perfect. So I'm going to go with the parting down the middle, and I'm just going to focus on one half at a time. So I'm going to focus on this half first, and I'm going to go across diagonally for the first section, and I'm just going to curl that, and I'm going to start the curls now slightly higher up. So here's the diagonal parting from the first section, and now I'm going to kind of create almost a triangle in the middle and do the same thing again in the other direction. So now you can see my diagonal line in the other direction. And I'm going to start with this section first so it doesn't get mixed in with this one here on the right hand side. Again, smoothing through to get rid of any tangles. Going in with the straighteners, just smoothing through the hair, getting it all warm, and then again starting slightly higher up and going in to start your curl. And just tapping and pulling the hair down when it goes too high and continuing down the length of the hair. Making sure it's nice and hot and then releasing the hair. Now I'm going to come back and do this section of hair, warming the hair up first and smoothing down the length of the hair. I'm just going to spray a little bit of hairspray. And I'm just going to move on to the other side. And again, just going to comb through the, brush through the hair. Just going to brush through the hair, making sure there's no tangles. I'm going to do your diagonal parting, and I'm going to smooth the hair down, and I'm just going to warm the hair up, and again go in and start my curl. Just tapping down the length of the hair until you get to the very end, making sure all the hair is nice and hot, opening and closing the straighteners to release the hair to reveal your curl. And again, just making sure that the hair's nice and warm before releasing it into your curl. And with the last section, warming up the hair, and my straighteners are at a diagonal angle now, not quite vertical, and I'm going in, rotating and twisting, rotating, twisting and pulling down. With this top section of hair, I'm not really going to do any sections at all. I'm just going to take slices of hair and just start curling and placing them where I think they need to go. So I'm going to put this one in between these two curls. So if I do sections, they're going to all sit on top of each other. And what I want to do is try and get it in between the gaps so it looks as natural and full as possible. Just combing through the hair, making sure it's nice and smooth. And again, I'm going in with my straighteners, rotating, pulling down and going down to the end of the hair. To release. And I'm getting another section of hair. Again, warming up the hair, coming down, rotating. And you can do this with tongs, but I just prefer doing it with straighteners. I find especially if someone has like a natural wave or curl in their hair anyway, when I use straighteners, it smooths out as well as curling the hair. Whereas sometimes when I use tongs, you kind of just curl the curls and you end up with a bit of frizz. Warming up the hair, rotating, coming down, getting the heat in the hair, keeping the tension. And I want this one to fall here. I'm just going to smooth through the hair, rotating the straighteners and just releasing. So here we're using quite small sections just to give the hair a nice kind of relaxed finish, so it's not too structured. And the last piece of hair. Now I'm going to just spray the hair with some hairspray. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infinium hairspray. This is a strong hold hairspray and it's just going to help to hold the curl. I'm also going to use some of the Silhouette Styling Hair Lotion because I just find it kind of gives it a softer finish. Sometimes if you only use the strong hold hairspray, you can find the hair gets a bit crispy. Now we're coming to one of the side sections and I'm just going to take my clip and go up in a slight diagonal line. So you can see that here. And what I'm going to do with this one, instead of curling away from the hair, I'm going to curl towards her face and just clip that hair out of the way. Get my straighteners, slight diagonal line and twisting to curl towards. Doesn't matter which angle you do your diagonal line. Smoothing through the hair, warming it up, and we're going to come away from the face this time. Just tapping to get towards the end of the hair, rotating and releasing. And now I'm just going to take a little section from the front. And again, we're going to curl away from the face. So when you get to the sections where there might be any layers, when I start curling, as soon as I get to the layer, I stop and I just start turning the straighteners around. I don't turn the straighteners and then come down and let the layer flick out. And there's like a little triangle here that I'm going to take next. And again, we're going to be curling away from the face. And I'm just going to take a section from behind. I'm using GHD straighteners, but you can use any straighteners. And I'm just going to come back in with my styling care lotion. And this one we're going to be curling towards the face. I'm just rolling up and releasing. And I'm going to just take another section of hair. And just smoothing through and warming up the hair. We're going to be curling away from the face. And where these layers are here, I'm not going to go any further down. I'm just going to keep rotating. On the spot. And releasing the hair. I'll make another parting. Sometimes when you keep wrapping around the hair, if I try and go down now, I'm just going to pull. So that's why now I'm tapping. I'm opening and closing to get lower down. And we're using smaller sections of a nice, natural, relaxed look. Tapping down the hair. If there are any bits like this that seem to be coming out, just wrap it around your fingers and it will smooth in. So I'm going to do the whole of this section all in one for the last one. And where there are little hairs here at the front, I'm going to go right down into the roots with my straighteners. And I'm just going to pull away and make sure that they're all smoothed in. And now I'm going to go in and do my curl. And now I'm going to go in with my Stronghold hairspray and the styling care lotion. Again, shielding my client's face. So we've finished the curling now. So now we're ready to just zhuzh up the hair a bit. So now I'm just going to ask my client just to move her head forwards. And I'm just going to put my hands into the roots, really just trying to get rid of the section lines. And what you can also do, what some people do, is whilst your client's head is flipped over, just spraying the hair with hairspray. But not too much. I'm just gonna kind of just shake the hair a bit from the roots. And if you just flip your hair back for me, please. Fabulous. Now I'm gonna just put my fingers through her hair and just loosen out the curls, just so it looks more soft and relaxed. I'm just going to do the other side as well. Just kind of just having a little play and just having a look in the mirrors and just checking to see what suits your client. So I'm just kind of just going in and just loosening the roots a little bit, just to give the hair a little bit of body. And so now this is the next stage. So now I'm going to show you how to make the hair look bigger without adding any extensions. So I've got a soft, relaxed looking style at the moment. So this kind of thing is perfect if you have a client who has, like, for example, an office party, maybe a Christmas party, birthday party, New Year's Eve party. People that kind of want to get their hair done but don't really want to spend a lot of money, you can do this look in half an hour at maximum. So if they want just that little bit extra, I'm now going to show you what to do. So I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infinium, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of separate and pull out a few curls and spray the hairspray upwards, and the hair kind of just stays in its position. But it's easier to do this if you're looking in a mirror so you can see what your client's hair looks like. Just, yeah, lovely. Because I can do it from the side and I think it looks great from here, and then they look in the mirror and they're like, just close your eyes for me. I'm just separating the hair. And let's just spin you around. Let's have a look in the mirror and see how you're looking. Fabulous. What you can also do is you just pull a few little bits up, again spraying the hairspray up. So you kind of get the illusion of the waves falling down, but you are creating those waves to make them look like they're falling down, but they're all perfectly positioned with a few of the smaller curls on top. And what you can also do is you can come in with your dry shampoo and just spray the hair, and lifting up and spraying. This just kind of gives it that kind of beachy feel. Kind of like the, I'm not really trying, but you've actually spent hours doing the hair. And really just getting in the roots. And really kind of just working the hair. And really just getting in there. And there we have our loose, messy party look. Sometimes people ask me to clip a section of hair back and add a nice like little accessory, or sometimes they want it coming over one shoulder. If I was to do this style and have it coming over one shoulder, I would do a slightly deeper parting, and then I'd move all the hair over to one side, and then I would add a little bit of back combing underneath each section to make it look really big and really full and fabulous. And then what I would also do is at the back of the hair, I would do a slight twist with a section of hair and just clip it underneath. All this fabulous hair tumbling over one shoulder. So you can imagine if we had loads of hair, it would kind of come up